Hello, welcome to episode 3 of Saxton Hale. I'm joined by my 3 other compatriots here. We have, where are you? Aggro down there.
Hey!
In the wrong order. We have Postman Pat there.
Mm-hmm. Hey, thanks.
And we have Kronos down there.
I am squatting in this corner. It's mine.
And of course, we're here to answer all of your emails that you send to us via Saxton Mail. So, Saxton Mail, take it away.
I'm pretty bloody sure that the frilly little beatnik who wrote this is some sort of fancy foreigner. His name has that pretentious Belgian norm feel to it. It sounds like a ridiculously overpriced dish on a menu that's trying too hard on its name. Unless this is a woman, then suddenly it's a gloriously ridiculous, attractive name that should find its way into my gravy jacuzzi. Anyway, this is from someone named Anton Z. I don't know either. Hey, KritzKast! I'm not entirely sure if I'm the first person to email such a topic as this one, but it's something that I would like to know either way. But before such a question is asked, you must know the very fact that makes up my TF2 career. I don't use a mouse and keyboard, I use a gamepad to play TF2, a legitimate Xbox 360 game controller. And not just for TF2, it's basically what I use for every FPS game I've ever played on the PC. I have no skill or experience with the mouse and keyboard whatsoever. Now my question to you, the cast of Crits, is what's your opinion on this? What are your first thoughts that come to mind when you realise a player uses a gamepad for a PC game and never makes the change? For me, I think I'm pretty good at TF2 considering the fact that I use the gamepad. It's been 3 years since I joined my first 2-Fort server, holding my gamepad all ready to play the game on the PC for the first time. 3 years later, here I am now believing that I don't need to make the change from gamepad to mouse and keyboard, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Do you think players that use gamepad are at a disadvantage to those that use mouse and keyboard? Do you think I should start learning how to use the mouse and keyboard? I look forward to hearing from you soon. So, wait, let me get this straight. You're using something that sounds awesome, whatever a controller is, which makes me think you're some variety of supervillain bent on eradicating puppies with his electro mind, you evil bastard. And you wish to start using a small, scared, helpless mammal and the piece of wood that someone's jammed the only means into their paper-walled shack into to do the same job. Actually, I can't tell which is more impressive. It'd require a lot of skill to use the board. Go with the one that attracts the most women. Or steaks. Or steaks served by women. Okay, I just answered my own question. No woman who isn't getting heavily paid for it will walk within 12 miles of the weirdo with the mouse and keyboard.
He's got a bit sexed up recently, hasn't he?
He's a little bit. He's a little on the ball, that one. He's scary, scary fella. Wow. I don't know. Can anyone actually not use mouse and keyboard and be any good in an FPS game?
Well, they certainly can.
If he could do it. Sorry, you go first.
Well, if he certainly can't be competitive with it, but I guess if he's having fun.
Yeah. Okay, so the point is that when I went to try and use my controller on my PS3, I found it incredibly difficult and started researching ways of getting a mouse and keyboard onto the PS3. And it is possible, but it's not easy. And I figured that basically if you found a way of using a controller and it works for you and you're good with it and you can still do things like use Mumble and chat and do all the normal PC kind of things, then absolutely fine. Do whatever you want, mate. It's your two hands and you're going to put them exactly where you want to. The other thing to bear in mind is that Steam is now trying out this thing called Big Picture, which enables you to use a mouse keyboard. Sorry, instead of using a mouse and keyboard, you use a controller. And the whole chat thing is designed for that. Look, if it's anywhere near what you have an expectation of being able to do with your PC, then I think you've actually got one up on us when it comes to the whole big picture stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good way of putting it. I mean, there are some things that you probably will never, ever be able to 100% fully pull off with a game controller, but like I said, if it works for you, go for it. I can't tell anybody to not use the way that it works for them, because it works for them.
If you can rocket jump, then I'd be pretty impressed and be going,
that's
right.
The same.
If you're having fun, then that's fine. I wouldn't recommend it for competitive at all. Just don't. It's a bad idea.
Yeah.
I'd be
This
quite
has been
curious
proven
to see.
objectively before.
I'd be quite curious to see if you do try and do competitive. I would
let us know.
I was going to say, let us know either in the comments down there. I was looking down there a few moments ago. Yeah, down there. All the way down there.
Yeah, down there, okay.
Either in the comments or send us another email. But yeah, be really pleased, really interested to find out how exactly you're using this controller. Anyway, I think it's time to move on to email number 2.
This email's from... let's see. Wait! I bought the trademark on this name. You owe me several members of the yacht club you belong to, including their yachts, or one complete set of your organs, whichever is more hilarious to collect. Anyway, Dr. Love, who will soon be a nameless sack of meat handing his organs into another sack of meat my lawyers are holding, says... Hey guys, just started listening, and in mail reading on 9/8, you said there was no NG robot because there would be no way to program a wave of robots that set up sentries. My understanding of the entire MVM was that there was still 2 teams, red and blue, and the only team that we have seen thus far is red. This left room for the blue team, which will get a shot at attacking the grey headquarters. This is where we would see a defending robot engineer who would set up a sentry somehow. This would also give a great boost to MVM interest at a time of virtually empty man-up servers. This also gives Valve a chance to revive the brothers, explain the Australium, and release a new type of bot killer weapon if they so desire. Happy podcasting! Love! P.S. The glasses are still looking at the NG Funny on the TF2 homepage, and when will we see the Grodbort's medic and scout weapons? Thoughts? Thoughts? I want to spin kick that blasted Grodbort's guy! Anyone selling space guns by literally flinging them from outer space is ducking sales tax in a manner that I have not yet figured out how to replicate. That makes me extraordinarily jealous, but every time I borrow Poopy Joe's rocket to go punch him in his snide space face, I have to buy a new pair of boots. And the rest of my clothes, since those tend to burn off as well.
Ow. Fair enough. Yeah, I never even thought about the concept of doing it the other way around.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we were talking not too long about the whole... Why is there only the red team on there? And people change their shirts to avoid the sentries, the NG sentries having a go at them. But yeah, that could be really cool if it was the other way around. If now the blues are going after the greys, basically.
Yeah. Here's a question: you guys ever played Gauntlet, the original one?
Not the original one, no.
Well, any of the spin-off games, because you know how those work. You go through a level which has masses and masses and masses of enemies everywhere. But the thing is, they also tend to have a spawner creating more and more of them that you have to go and destroy so they stop coming at you.
Yeah. That could be what the NG's doing. Is that what you're trying to insinuate?
Maybe, yeah. Just running around saying those things up constantly. It would.
That would be really cool though for an MVM, where if the waves just keep coming, you have to push through into where they're spawning without them still getting the bomb to your base. That'd be cool.
That'd be interesting.
So it's not just cool, defend, it's push and counter push. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Valve, I hope you're listening.
Yeah.
Really?
This is going to be one of those. This is going to be one of these things where like Valve come out with it, and then there's some guys go, "Oh, I told them that was going to be the way that they should do it," and Valve are listening to me. Yeah. But if they do, that'd be an awesome game mode.
Yeah.
And it does. Yeah. We were talking last week about the cannon, what we're going to do with the cannon, how we're going to like make everything fit together. This is how we make it fit together. This is how we progress the story. So yeah, good on you. Good thoughts.
We need more emails like that.
Speaking of more emails.
And more.
Speaking of more emails.
And now we have... this is something named... Pokemon Otaku. I can't tell if I'm supposed to be offended, aroused, or hungry. I know, I'll just be all three at once! Never mind. Anyway, he writes, thanks for the MVM service, especially the San Jose one. I live in Cupertino, which is right next to San Jose, so that's awesome and I'm going to tell my friends about it. Good for you. While you're at it, tell your friends to forcibly change your name to something less confusing and with one syllable, like Fred. Or less than one syllable, like Anyway, he continues, what happened to Boobies? I haven't heard him on the podcast for ages. Boobies? You mean the seabirds in the genus Sula, part of the Sulidae family? The ones that are closely related to gannets, which have been formally included in Sula.
Well done.
You're telling me that I replaced a fish-eating bird on this show? Well, at least it wasn't the attractive kind of fish-eating bird. I'd be sad to see one of those go.
Wait, hang on. No, wait. There are attractive fish-eating birds.
I've never seen a woman eat fish and being attractive. I'm sorry.
Sushi. Come on.
You've never seen a woman eat fish and be attractive? Okay, I've got some films I need to show you, dude.
Wait, you have films for
That's
this?
very niche. That is very niche.
Okay, I'll explain afterwards.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like we did kind of slightly explain at some point in time during the show what happened with boobies, but it is one of the questions that we get a hell of a lot for obvious reasons because he's not around us anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically due to real life commitments and the time load and pressure and all of that, he's not able to continue doing it. Yeah. And Cronus, the god of thunder, got in the way.
I was going to say, running Crits or being part of KritzKast is not an easy task in itself. It basically is a full-time job. So if you already have a full-time job and you try and take on another full-time job, you're doing 2 full-time jobs, which isn't great for everybody. It doesn't suit everybody. Some of us can get away with it by just not having lives. So that's okay for me, but not necessarily for boobies. I'm not insinuating that Pat or Tempest or Kronos. Also, I'm looking in the wrong way for Kronos. Sorry, Kronos. Also doesn't have a life. But, there's a great deal of compromise that needs to be made in order to be part of this. And that's unfortunately something that boobies couldn't make at that time.
About the compromise.
With regards to the rest of the question though, the observation, the MVM servers in San Jose, it was kind of actually an afterthought, about getting them in San Jose and, well, I tell you what, we've had more response from people in San Jose saying, yes, awesome, I'm glad you got MVM servers there. And than anywhere else in the world, anywhere else in nice. Like the countries that we have servers. But if
I have to explain.
Yeah, go on.
Geographically in the US, which by the way, since I was not the one who set up the servers, it was I believe Agro was the one who set up the MVM servers, like in a big long push, I believe. Am I getting that wrong?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, baby.
He's so good.
He has little to no knowledge of the geography of the U.S. He had to ask me where Buffalo was because he assumed it was just kind of sort of near where I live in Chicago, which is not the case.
It's in North America.
50% of the people in the U.S. live on the coasts, and about maybe, 50%, that's a rough number, maybe less than that, live in California, which has San Jose on the West Coast. So, yeah, it's near a very large population center, so it was kind of a logical choice to choose that anyway.
Okay.
Plus, the usual places, I'm assuming, like, all the service centers seem to be in, like, West Coast, East Coast, like Chicago, those kind of places. If you're not near the main hubs, then there's probably not very many servers that are local
if you live in Nebraska and play TF2, first off, I am so sorry for Nebraska. And second, you are fucked in terms of lag.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for answering that one then. Well, I think
geography away.
I do it. We have lost our one Nebraskan listener. If you are a listener from Nebraska or viewer from Nebraska, please let us know in the comments. And of course, always, please subscribe. I can't remember which one corner it is I'm supposed to be looking at, but
it's somewhere around there.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a link coming up after we're done here, and a link to the previous shows. Saxton Hale's 1 and 2 now precede this one as this is Saxton Hale 3, which was discussed earlier.
1,
Please,
2, 3. Yeah, you're right.
have a look at those videos, check them out, and maybe we've got something awesome coming up for you guys in the very near future. One thing that we did want to sort of revive was the possibility, not so much of Player of the Week, but Male of the Week.
Male of the Week.
Anyone
slightly
got
sexist,
Male of the Week.
But it is a little bit sexist. It's
Slightly
sexist
sexist,
male,
Male of the Week.
Yeah, should we think about who we're going to get for Male of the Week? Who deserves the lo-fi, the vintage lo-fi long wave this week? Would it be? Yeah, go on. I was going to say,
could it be email number 1? Are we doing like a whole countdown?
We're not.
Well, personally, I would actually say email number 1 because using a game controller is not an easy thing in comparison to a keyboard and mouse, and especially seeing as you'll have all the players yelling at you all the time saying, "Use keyboard and mouse." By the way, you should be using a keyboard and mouse, but that's not the point.
No, I was going to say,
persevere through all of that.
Bang on. Look, if you can figure out how to wear a hat whilst using a controller, you deserve a hat.
Absolutely.
That's kind of true.
I'd like a follow-up on that one, though. I'd like him to get back and kind of say how the hell he does, play the game.
Even things like joining maps. I mean, you've got to open the console, type stuff in. I guess that there's, a certain amount of playing the controller.
He doesn't throw his keyboard away.
I don't think this whack.
The two can coexist.
If anybody wants to send in a video or link us to a video, then playing TF2 with a joystick, that would be quite cool as well.
That would be impressive.
Yeah,
That would be good.
lots of joysticky moments there.
And of course, you can send your emails to mail@kritzkast.com if you want to follow up on any of these or send us any questions of anything about Team Fortress 2, KritzKast, anything at all. I mean, have a go. You never know, you might make it on the show, and you never know, you might even get Mail of the Week and get yourself a lo-fi long wave. As for us, I think that's basically it this week, so we'll see you all guys soon. Remember to head over to KritzKast.com to look at all of the content we produce, as well as all the Saxton mails. Bye-bye, guys.
Sweet dreams.
Sorry.
Quiet you.
That was another episode of KritzKast,
Another satisfied customer.
brought to you by thepodcast.com.
Our influence grows.
Visit us for show notes as well as access to our Steam group, Twitter, iTunes, merchandise, and much more. Or have your say at forum.thepodcast.com.
Okay, intro music.